Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. For those of you who have played or watched GTA 5 story, you know what really happens in the prologue. You learn that Michael DeSanta, formerly known as Michael Townley, the bank robber, had a sting operation set up to secure his future by having partner Trevor Phillips killed and partner Brad arrested. As we also know, things didn't quite go as planned and Brad ended up taking the bullet meant for Trevor. Michael takes his bullet for the operation, goes down, and then Trevor escapes into the blizzard. But what if Brad didn't get shot? What if Brad was able to take Trevor's spot like planned? I mean, you might be thinking, there's no way Brad was able to get out. He didn't have Trevor's rage power. Well, you don't exactly use that power in the prologue. So theoretically speaking, it's not needed to escape. I mean, honestly, it really wasn't even that hard for him. Plus, Brad is more realistic and not a psychopath, so he probably would have ditched Michael and Trevor as quick as he could. Now, there's a lot of twists and turns this route could go, so I'm going to show you my own path. Let's start off with his life prior to the actual GTA 5 story. Brad, being a bit different than Trevor, most presumably didn't spend nearly as long grieving as Trevor did. We can also assume Brad's earnings were locked up just like Trevor's, so that's out of the picture. So here we have an ex-bank robber who's actually sane and doesn't have anywhere to go. It'd be a shame if he managed to make it to Los Santos where everyone else is going. You may be thinking, oh, you make it easy on yourself by putting him there. For one, yeah, I did, thanks. And two, why not go to Los Santos? There's tons of opportunities for illegal crimes to make money, and it's definitely a solid, beautiful place to live. Brad may not have taken the desert route that Trevor took, and he probably couldn't pull enough money from chillo jobs to pay for a mansion like Michael, so we'll assume he's nestled somewhere deep in Los Santos, probably near Lester. We may also ask the question, did Brad just go do work for Lester? It's very likely. Brad, again, is much more sane than Trevor, so Lester may have been willing to try and reach out to him to communicate with Brad, or he may have at least been more willing to keep track of him. But to wrap up this aspect of the theory, we'll just go with Brad moved into a small, inexpensive part of Los Santos to lay low, and did smaller crimes for money. Now we're going to fast forward to the actual first time we're introduced to Trevor. In this universe, Brad isn't the crazy drug business king like Trevor was trying to be. With a lot less rage in his body and the desire to not go too crazy in Los Santos, we'll consider the drug dealers that Trevor, dealt with alive and well and running the drug business out in the desert. Also, Johnny would still be alive if Trevor was dead. Happy days all around. Except in Trevor's case, of course, because he's dead. Anyways, we'll put the idea that Lester had been working with Brad in the motion here. It'd be very broad to assume that Brad would be willing to work with Michael again after everything that happened. So he'll sit out that heist, without knowing anything about it to get involved anyways. The gang does the heist, Michael says the movie line that allowed Trevor to pick him out, and Brad, interested, contacts Lester, and Lester spills the beans. Lester tells Brad Michael DeSanta is in fact Michael Townley, and he's back robbing banks. Being tired of being dirt broke and missing what he's good at, Brad informs Lester that he'd very much like to be a part of the heist crew again. We can assume that Brad had Trevor-like relations to Michael's family, seeing as they were working together for a very long time. So Michael and Brad ruin Tracy's Fame or Shame audition, and things flow mostly normal, save for the fact that Brad's not a psychopath. Moving on to the Merryweather Heist. It actually wouldn't have happened without Trevor, so skipping the Merryweather Heist. Welcome to the Polito score. Remember the mission where 3 men in heavy armored suits blow away a town on the outskirts with miniguns while the army tries to take them down in tanks and things like that? Yep, that one. Michael is still roped in with Dave for the whole sting operation, which means Brad gets to work for the FBI too. Woohoo! Anyways, for the most part, things flow smoothly because although Brad isn't a psychopath like Trevor is, he is a seasoned bank robber. Brad, Michael, and Franklin escape via the train, and bam, the heist is complete. Nothing too major of a change here. Which takes us into the Bureau raid. Again, everything runs smooth and steady, nothing major changes here. Trevor wasn't even in on this heist, so unless we just hire Brad as another hand, nothing would happen with him. The big fight between Michael and Trevor comes to mind after that. Seeing as how Brad can assume Michael and Trevor both have graves up there in North Yankton because the FIB wouldn't need to string them along like they did Trevor, the whole thing may be entirely different. Michael offered Trevor a chance to sit down and talk about it, but obviously Trevor declines and we see him take off to the airport with Michael in tow, causing Michael to be captured by triads. Because Brad would be more rational, we'll take the talk it out route. Although it's a lot less climactic for the group, it's a much easier path for both Michael and Brad to walk. Disgusted by Michael's plan to sell out his friends, Brad sticks around to complete the big one and then leaves Michael to never talk to him again. The big one goes smooth because no special ability was really needed from Trevor. I won't add things in where it's not needed because it's just fluff at that point. The ending. Unless Steve Haynes wants to get or Brad like Trevor, there's really no reason to have him killed. So we'll use a different ending with just two ways to go. Kill Michael or save Michael. Because the events with Devin Weston wouldn't have changed whether Trevor was with the crew or not, Devin will still want him dead, meaning Frank will have to make the choice to take out Michael or take out anyone who wants Michael dead. Obviously, in the way of killing Michael, Franklin wouldn't need Brad's help because he didn't need Trevor's. He would just feel a little bit betrayed by Franklin, and that's about it. Plus, Brad plans on leaving anyway, so who cares? However, in the Save Michael route, Brad and Franklin have to go through a couple less hoops to achieve that sweet ending of tossing Wesley off the cliff in the trunk of a car, because they'll have a lot less people mad at them, assuming Brad isn't crazy. Most of the changes would have come from individual stories, as while Trevor had special qualities, Brad would have had to have some as well. This could have been an optional DLC on its own, as the opportunities on places to hit this story are endless. I hope you enjoyed my brief theory crafting session. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down below the differences you think there'd be, and subscribe for more content like this. Until the next one, goodbye.